Hey, so what's going on, everybody? Hey, you see the globe behind me? Remember, this is from Mason's video. Um, I figured I would come up here and talk to y'all about something, quote, on big. The world is full of pimps and hoes. The world's full of them. You heard me in an earlier post, and I was talking about the coming demise, or the trying brother tear apart of Jaguar Wright and the things that she accused and things she said. And a lot of people, they will have their own opinions and everything like that, but more so in all, I want to talk about this. What is the dedication of... You see, I remember so many times from watching Boyce Watkins, watching a lot of other guys or whatever, they would talk about being pawns, being subjects, being part of the Baphomet and all this stuff, right? And I'm taking a moment with this because I want to enter this with the right amount of energy. You hear so many stories about all this stuff or whatever, but my question is, how do you know? Have you, in fact, done so much research into the music business that you honestly believe that you can dictate to me what I've seen? Do you honestly had a one-on-one opinion about anything other than what you heard from somebody else or what someone else has pushed you? Well, I'm here to tell you, most of you are wrong. I hate to burst your bubble, but you're wrong. I'm not offering free information. I'm not going to give you any falsehoods. I'm not going to implement and try to ascertain anything that's not already available to me from my own knowledge. And if you think I'm going to do that on camera, then you guys are sadly mistaken. Especially, I'm not going to do it on camera for free. Now, I appreciate all the views. I appreciate all the new subscribers. We got 6,000 new ones this month. I appreciate all the views. I'm at over 800,000 views for this month. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate the donations. I appreciate the cash apps, PayPals, everything. This is what I do. I'm a vlogger. You know what I mean? So fair compensation is just following. But what you're not going to get out of me is you're not going to get anything out of the music business that's not already a ride that's already been taken and already been put in front of you. Working with Diddy for those many years, and that's why I came back up here to this globe right here, because this symbolizes one of the first videos that was really, really put out there for Bad Boy Entertainment, including Mace. And I said to myself, when I saw this globe, I said, oh, I got to do it right there. And many of y'all, if you're in New York City, you know exactly where I'm at. And then many of y'all that are not familiar with New York City, well, let's say I'm somewhere. You know what I mean? I hope you guys can understand what I mean, the trajectory that I'm trying to go here is that if you've never been in the music industry, then you absolutely know nothing about the industry except for what people have told you, given inclination to, or even suggested to. And most of those people that are suggesting things to you, they haven't been in the music industry either. Now, I'm not here to defend that or change my position, because I'm not. It's too late. I can't change my position now, so I'm all in. But what I won't do is I won't sit around and entertain motherfuckers to come on my page to talk about everything under the blue and why won't I tell them this or why won't I tell them that, because information is not for free. If you go to a college, any college in the United States, you're going to have to pay to get the education that they have to offer. I know it's different. That's white man. I know. See, you have a certain segment of blacks that have been so victimized mentally that they're almost like the blacks that one time were on the plantation. And their sole purpose was to divide and conquer. One that told on others, one that put others at risk, etc., was later on rewarded in most cases. Unfortunately enough, this same type of trajectory still exists right now currently in the United States amongst black population and the Latin population as well. Some would call it crabs in a bucket. Some would call it, I don't know, this plain old jealousy. But there's definitely a collective effort to try to stop me from all the views I had, the way I'm trending, and a collective effort as well to stop Jaguar Wright. Jaguar Wright and myself, I think, have been the forerunners. And Gene Dill, too. I don't want to throw out Gene Dill. And they come from a different perspective and a different viewpoint than I do. My viewpoint was more so based on what happened to me the whole time that I was working for Bad Boy Entertainment and its 3 distributors. If you're not familiar with my story, I went through Atlantic Records, Interscope, and first BMG, which was Bertelsmann Music Group, which was attached to Arista Records and Atlantic Records for a brief time. They were our distributors. If you're not familiar with the term distributor, because everything is digital now, it's basically that was the company that made sure that the videos were paid for, made sure that the sales were counted for, made sure that, you know, the CDs themselves at the time, physical units, were actually sold and put into places like Virgin Megastore, Tower Records, and all those places at the time. And now that it's fully gone to a digital format, those places, little bit, if not, don't exist anymore. I know none of them in New York City do as well, so as far as I know. But, you know, that could be a toss-up, it could be anything. Guys, I want you to take this with you as I make my return back here to YouTube. I'm not here to answer any silly questions. I've said this before. What I offer to you is what I offer to you. And if you like to take that information and dissect it, if you like to take that information and somehow or another use it to your advantage, if you like to take that information and take it as a warning for the music industry, to be my guest. But I can't say anybody besides myself, Gene Deal, and Jaguar Wright are the correct people to tell you this information right now. So if you want to sit back and you want to listen, I encourage you to do so. If you don't, I don't need your negative comments. I don't need people talking about my mother. I don't need people talking about where's my family, da 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 da. So in essence, what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer some of those questions for you. One, I don't deal with my family very well. My family is not very excited about me joining the music industry. They never were in the first place. They're Christian people. They're from the church. You know, my mother's side anyway. Heavily Christian people. I'll give you an example. I tried to get in touch with some of them. So I knew the first place to go was the church that we grew up in. They do an online broadcast. So I knew if I went on the online broadcast, they would be there. And just for sure, they were there. I had one of them speak to me. You know? So just like you guys that chastised me, a few of you, they looked at me the same way. You dealing with the devil, you know? And it's my family. What am I going to do, right? What am I going to do? Do I have regrets? Somebody asked me this. Do I have regrets as far as being in the music business? The only regret that I would have, that I would say about the music business, is that I wish I would have done what I just did recently a lot longer ago. There was many of things that were pointing me to, like, you know, many different conclusions, I'll put it that way. And I just ignored them for the most part. I really did ignore them. I saw signals that were there that I chose to be like, no, that's not really there, you know. And subsequently, it ended me up here. I was a little bit more nice than I should have been. The third question everybody asked me the whole time when I was working with Puff, was I nice? Yes, I was nice. I was always nice to people. There was a lady just a few minutes ago, you know, because a lot of people jump on my page to talk about begging instead of fair compensation, which they should be talking about. There was a woman just a few minutes ago. I went to get something to eat at Wendy's. And when I walked in, I knew it was a hustle because she had opened the door for me, that whole thing. If you're not familiar in New York City, a lot of people, they'll just open the door for you and hope you'll give them some change or something like that, you know. And it's notable because, you know, people are in need right now, especially right now. It's very hard right now for a lot of people, not only in Connecticut where I live at, but also here in New York City. So as many of you guys know my story, I left here almost 8 weeks ago because of what was going on here, you know. Since then, it's changed. It really has changed a little bit. There's more people out. People are getting more social once again, which is a good thing. And I'm seeing some momentum with people just like having conversations, one-on-one conversations. Like I'm standing right now, there's a group of guys, and they're just having a conversation like things used to be. So people are starting to get a little bit more social, so I'll say that much. Do I have any plans on moving back down to New York at this moment? No, I don't think so. I think I'm going to stay in Connecticut for this next. I'm hoping I can leave before November. I really want to get on to where I'm getting to. But I'm being stagnated a little bit. As many of you guys, if you pay attention to my page, you will know what that is. One of them is monetarily, more so than anything. So, guys, make sure you hit those donate links and donate as you have been. I appreciate it. And then what was that fifth question? Oh, yeah, the fifth question was why now? That's the one that keeps popping up. Why now? Why now? Why are you in Jaguar now? Quite simply because of this. Why the fuck not now? Why not now? Time after time after time after again, I get everybody that comes to me and they always say the same unique thing. Yo, I was looking at the Jaguar Wright video and your video came up. I know. I know. And I'm glad that you guys chose to look at it. But when you look at it, don't look at it in doubt. Don't look at it as in some type of salacious attempt at selling you some information that's not true, because everything we say is true. You know, I don't want to repeat my particular situation that made me come to my conclusion, but more so it was, I thought I had a family in the music industry, and come to find out I didn't. So if you're just now catching up with my story, that's what that is. I love some of those guys still over there. You know, I've worked with them for years. 16 years I worked with a lot of those guys. And it broke my heart to leave New York City. It broke my heart to leave Bad Boy Entertainment as a conglomerate that I had been with for over 16 years. I started with them, you know. So it was a bad breakup. It was. But it taught me a lot of things. The number one thing it taught me was this. The next time, regardless of what industry I end up being in, which I think is flirting towards more so with my friend that works over at Power, I think it's flirting more so towards directing and editing and things that I'm also known for, besides photography and everything like that usually everybody deals with me about. Outside of me being a music artist myself, I'm talking about the things outside of me being a music artist. So I'm humbled. I'm glad that everybody wants to hear new music from me. I guess that was a good thing that came out of this, which I am going to deliver to you guys. So just take a minute. That and the clothing line, Gustavo, that will be up both shortly. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks. I'm limited for time during the daytime. That's one of my biggest problems. So I'm always running about, moving around and stuff like that. Y'all have to excuse me. I just saw this brother with a blue afro. Yeah, blue afro, I swear to God. This whole dyeing your hair shit, I ain't got it yet. And again, I'm bald-headed, you know, so I've seen blonde, blue, red, but that one stuck out the most. He had a blue afro, man. He looked like Papa Smurf. Another question I had for myself, I had Jordan, was why did I choose to defend Jaguar? Well, I'm defending Jaguar because I know a lot of things Jaguar says is true. And if I don't defend Jaguar, what happens is I end up in this space in the spectrum where I'm now doubting, which a couple of them are doubting. Oh, he just mad because you don't know why the fuck I'm mad. And I'm not mad. You don't know what my purposes are. You don't know what my reasons are. To be quite honest with you, I believe probably 75 to 80% of you never even knew who the fuck I was outside of music until, you know, I said something. And that's just what it is. So, guys, I'm going to cut this one short. This is just in my series of coming back out of my little hiatus on YouTube. I hope you enjoy. I hope you like. I'm going to do some live some more. Just right now, I'm pressed for time. I'm down here for the next 2 days because I've got a whole bunch of stuff to take care of. I got to grab some paperwork. I've got to go over to my old place because I still have some stuff over there, so I got to bring that to my storage. Then I wanted to see a couple people that I ain't seen since I left here almost 8 weeks ago now. So it's been a whole transition. But I want to emphasize to you once again, I do not live in New York. I live in the tri-state, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. I live in Connecticut. Connecticut is a hop, skip, and a jump from here where I'm at. So it takes me roughly maybe about 45 minutes to get from here to Connecticut. So it's not that long. I love Connecticut, but it's just not for me. I've outgrown it. I've outgrown New York too. So we're moving on, you know, and I'm going to miss the Northeast. I'm going to miss the experiences I had with Bad Boy Entertainment. I'm going to miss the experiences I had with Puff. And I hope that you guys won't move away from me based on that and separation from that company. But I will say this. Every time that you doubt Jaguar Wright, every time that you question her mental stability, etc., 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 you have to also question your own magnitude of thought process, which is this. If you were initially agreeing with Jaguar Wright, and it took one person to change your mind, well, I would say you might have some mental problems of your own. Because if it took one person's suggestion and you roll with that bandwagon, that means that Jaguar wasted her time, I wasted my time, Gene Dill wasted his time, and many of others. So I just want to give you guys something to think about. Like I said, I'm a full-time blogger now. It manifested itself through this whole COVID crisis that we had, and I'm kind of glad it did. There's a lot of guys in the music business I know right now, and I talk to daily, that are not working, and it's unfortunate. But I'm lucky enough to found me a gig. So my gig is my own entrepreneurship, whatever you want to call it. Fight and make sure you support me. I'm going to continue this. I'm going to try this again. I don't want the momentum leaving. I saw 623 comments to me telling me to come back. So I'm back. So make sure you hit up those links down below, guys, to show your support and get me the hell out of the Northeast so we can continue to somewhere much more beautiful. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for, always viewing, and just be good to each other and support somebody. If you see somebody hungry on the street or something like that and they look like you, ask them if they want something to fucking eat. How about that? All right, guys, I'm out of here.